came together in ODM,
yes,
from all political parties, so who are we fighting?
You have to defeat Mwai Kibaki.
So when we come together in G7, who says that the script is basically...
Why not this time? The answer is simple: to defeat Raila.
To defeat
because
Raila.
there seems to be a threat.
The issues that face this country go beyond Raila Odinga. For the record, what I stand for as William Ruto is the single critical challenge that faces Kenya is the quality of the leaders we elect.
Quality of the leaders.
Right? The tragedy, why Kenya is stagnant and why we haven't moved forward like the way other countries have done, and yet we have tremendous potential in our country, is because of the kind of leadership we elect. We'll
have to break on that thought.
On that note, can I just
ask
William something?
No, we'll have to break on that thought when we come back. Don't forget that if you have any questions or comments for the Honorable William Ruto, the SMS number is 2442 and the Twitter handle is Cheche_TV. Still ahead, more on his ambitions for Kenya and the country's leadership. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Cheche, live on Citizen TV and Hot 96 FM. Our guest this morning is presidential candidate William Ruto. Before the break, he was making a point about his ambitions for Kenya and said the problem with the country is the quality of leadership. And Mr. Ruto, there's a text here from Deco, who says, you know, you talk about the quality of leadership in Kenya, but you are the problem. You should not be fighting the presidency when you have the ICC hanging over you, which several of our viewers have
let me tell you. You know, when we get the wrong parameters to look for our leaders, we get the wrong leaders.
Right.
Because you have used the wrong criteria.
So what should the criteria be?
The bottom line is, do we have men and women who can deliver on their word? Do we have men and women who have a track record of performance? That's the bottom line. Because what will take this country forward is what we do as a country, not what we say. I see a lot of people talk about, oh, you know, you should elect me as president of Kenya because I talk about reforms. Give me a break, you know? Reform is not in the talking.
When you talk about
reform is not in the talking. Reform is in the doing. Look at, let me give you an example, Kali.
Yeah.
When I was Minister for Agriculture, today, the Ministry of Agriculture has imprints of when Minister William Ruto was in office.
I agree with you.
I changed that ministry. When I went to Ministry of Higher Education, there is a track record of what I did when I was in that ministry. There are people who have been ministers in this government for 20 years.
True.
There are
I agree with you about
been in office for so many years. They have nothing to show for it. Why would they want to be in office or to go to the next office if they cannot show what they can do? So the bottom line here is performance. Who can match what they say with what they do?
True, but the issues. When you do perform very well, yes, I agree with you. You did very well and it was record. But there are issues about underhand things.
Correct. I will respond to that.
Yes.
I will respond to that. I will respond to that.
Okay.
Like you have taken the professional road.
Let me tell you that is your own creation.
That's what.
That is your. You know,
I don't know.
You run a very big risk because you say what you will not prove.
I have no proof. I have no proof.
Okay. So answer. Okay,
don't make this thing about rumors.
Right. So tell us about the maize scandal.
Yes.
When the maize, the so-called, let me say the so-called maize scandal that never was. Because that scandal was investigated by 5 agencies. 5. By the CID, by the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, by the audit in the office of the in the Treasury, by the what is it called, EMU, Efficiency Monitoring Unit, and finally by a forensic auditor. None, not one report said William Ruto was responsible for nothing. Number 2, unlike the oil scandal, unlike the education scandal, where people were charged in court, even if though the ministers were not, but certain individuals were taken to court. not a single person, not even a clerk, got a warning letter under the so-called
because of cover-up.
So what cover-up? I mean,
because the whole thing was the whole thing was in the Prime Minister's office. It was in the Prime Minister's office, and in fact, you yourself and said you yourself and blame the office of the Prime Minister.
I did not blame the office of the Prime Minister. In fact, I took on a responsibility that did not belong to me, because the maize issue, the strategic grain reserves, and I said it in Parliament, the strategic grain reserves were under the Ministry of Special Programs. They were not under my ministry. The parastatal that ran it was reporting to my ministry. And for your information, this issue went public. It even came to the floor of the House. And in the floor of the House, 80% of members of Parliament voted with me, because I laid the facts fair on the ground.
All the reports notwithstanding, you know the small matter of the note that you did saying allocate or give so-and-so some help.
Correct.
That is on the record.
That's on the record.
That is not upright or in proper office conduct. Yeah. And we know that people, and I know them, some of your friends, being given allocated maize in the silos, they send people to buy from there without moving, and they confessed.
For your information, of all the notes that were written, out of hundreds that were written, one was written by my personal assistant then, on my instruction.
Yes.
And it was written for a guy who is in Kariobangi. And I said I was willing to stand by him. A guy who has no legs in Kariobangi, who has a mill, and you can go and see his mill. And he was supposed to be sold maize like any other Kenyan is being sold maize. And unfortunately, he did not even get the maize.
Okay.
That letter was.
I think we shouldn't be bogged down by that maize scandal.
There is the land issue.
Because the scandal was never there.
No, Bill, there was a scandal, except nobody was netted. But the scandal was there.
The fact that no one was arraigned, there is no bag of maize that was sold and not money recovered. There was nobody that took maize from there without paying. How does it?
Was there maize exported to Sudan?
That is now for the CID to say. The CID did not say there was.
Okay, I just wanted to revert on not even land. I think the issue of land is, I have no evidence, but there's a lot of speculation regarding land and what William is said to have acquired or benefited.
But the matter went to court.
That's why I don't want to get into it, because it's in court.
Was dismissed in court.
I just want to look at
this farm thing, madam. It went to court. The land was sold by Kanu. It was not sold by William Ruto. Kanu have admitted we sold the land. The fellow who bought the land said, I paid. The bank which received the money said, yes, we received the money and we posted it in our books. How do you take William Ruto to court? To go and do what? And that eventually it went round in circles for 7 years.
What about that family have a dispute with somebody
that's the one he's talking about.
That's what he's referring to. David, you have a question?
Let's
very quickly, because now we're running out of time.
The question that I really want, William articulated something about leadership and the quality of leaders we elect. Now, I want to take William on his own record of leadership or the people he raises up as leaders. You are with Moi.
Yes.
That's great leadership, or I don't know what you think about it.
Correct. I will answer you.
You went and supported Raila.
Yes.
You now think that was not good leadership. You are now in partnership with people in G7, Uhuru Kenyatta, and so people who have been on the other side of your political career all the time. What makes these people now ideal for Kenya's leadership? And why are you telling your supporters these are the right people?
Number one, with Moi, tell me one of these guys who was not with Moi.
Doesn't make
any difference. Just wait.
Okay.
In fact, if anything, I was minister in Moi's government for 2 months. Raila was minister in Moi's government for 2 years. Uhuru was there for longer. Kalonzo was forever. So, I mean, you want to talk about Moi, talk about, I don't know what you are going to say.
No, we are judging you by your judgment, yes.
Let's leave that out.
Right.
So, as for Moi, everybody was with Moi. Number two, you're talking about Raila Odinga. And this ODM brigade. Politics, my friend, is a game of interest. I have no problem with Raila Odinga. But, if you say something, as ODM, there are things we said we must do. And Raila Odinga will tell you, I persistently went to his office. The docket that was given to me by ODM, the Ministry of Agriculture. I did a good job out of it. Others did not.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, if you are in a team where other players, instead of doing what we agreed to do and sort out the issues of our country, they went there to do other things, and we went up in a circus. What are you? I'm not plastered.
Right. So very quickly, Mr. Ruto, very quickly, your vision for Kenya then, because you say that it deserves rest.
I believe Kenya is a wonderful country. This is the best country anyone could belong to. Kenya is a great place. We can only make it greater. I believe that 3 serious issues we must sort out. We must sort out insecurity in our country.
How would you deal with it?
Insecurity is a very basic issue. Number one, we must get value for the money we put in security. We pay, for example, for our security hardware, I think 3-4 times what we should actually pay, because security purchases are subjected to some secrecy, which is completely unnecessary. We should open up security purchases to tendering that is clear and that is supervised by Parliament, so that we pay for what we get. As we are talking today, to be able to buy a gun, which is being taken around by policemen in the street, it is a secret. What is secret about buying a gun? Which policemen are rolling with it around in the street? Number one, we need to sort out the management of our security issues. Our policemen, they either do not have vehicles or they are under-remunerated. We must be clear. If we want to secure this country, and unless we secure this country, it will be difficult to do business. It will interfere with our investment. It will interfere with our tourism, and we won't be able to grow this economy by double digits. Secondly, we must sort out the youth issue in our country. The single critical resource we have in Kenya, and I missed the opportunity when I was in the Ministry of Higher Education. I had planned to do it properly, that we equip our young men and women with skills. As we are talking, we need to re-engineer our education system so that we don't churn out people who have anthropology and history and what have you to come and roam our streets. We need to arm our young people, men and women, with skills so that we can tap
skills
their
that
talent.
are needed in the market.
Exactly. When we had this debate, education must be accessible, affordable,
and relevant,
quality, but most importantly, relevant.
He's made the
we must sort out the hunger problem in our country. We can secure this country we can eliminate hunger in our country. It is possible. I have done it myself when I was Minister for Agriculture. I know if we expand irrigation, we make certified seed and fertilizer available to our farmers, we mechanize our farming, we can turn around this country, and 10 million odd Kenyans need not sleep hungry in our country. These are issues we don't need rocket science to do. You just need firm, decisive, focused leadership. And that's what I offer.
How would you deal with, for instance, these